So no record. Look at you two. One of you guys came and shouldn't have come.
Get ready to go
Well,
live.
to make the record, it'd have to be just one of us.
Oh, we haven't started yet. Okay, 3 of you can leave.
Call this meeting order. All fans stand and face the flag for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Scary. Okay. Get my big ink pen out. Roll call. Brett Luther.
Present.
R.J. Donovan.
Here.
Tim Yocum, I am present. Approval of minutes.
Motion to approve minutes as written.
Second the motion.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Approval of claims.
Motion to approve claims.
Second to approve claims.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Approval of payroll.
Make a motion to approve payroll.
Second the motion.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Public comment. If any of you want to come and have a public comment, you're more than welcome.
Let's limit it to 3 minutes though.
1 minute per person. No, I'm just kidding.
There you go. We got that 15-second thing. Timer.
Yeah.
Okay, public comment, we're done with that. New issue, appointment of vice president? President vice, okay, excuse me.
A motion to nominate Tim Yocum as president for 2024.
Second the motion.
All in favor? Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Is that the discussion aye?
Yeah, that's a discussion. Aye. I'll make a motion to appoint Brent Luther vice president for 2024.
I second that. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. BCS management. What about on that?
There's 2 parts to that. One is that they did sign our master services agreement for professional services. We have not countersigned that yet, so we need to either approve that. It's in our language, they didn't change anything. So I suggest one that we approve that. That would be regardless of whether we approve anything else for them to act on. So I think that'd be the first order of business. If we don't approve that, then we don't have the second part to approve. So I make a motion that we approve the master services agreement with BCS.
Second the motion.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Second part, BCS gave us, and it's a weak scope of work, but it is a scope of work for the I-74 corridor. And I don't quite recall the dollar amount, but it's a matter of whether we want to enter into an agreement with them for the scope that they provided, or whether we want to return that and ask them to change any part of that scope of work.
Okay. We got more of the information coming out on that here in the next week or two.
We don't have to act on it.
You what?
We don't have to act on it either, so
Right.
any of the above.
We got a motion and a second.
Are you guys wanting to change the scope of work at all, or do you want to leave it as is?
Well, to get it started, I'll make a motion to approve that. I don't want to do that though. I think the scope of work is a little weak.
Yeah.
But
I think Scott mentioned that in the email that it could be approved on, but I think their connections are well worth something. I don't know what that value is, but
well, I think the dollar value is there. It's just that there's the definition of their work and the deliverables of what we can expect. The weak part, almost all these is the deliverables. What are we going to get for each dollar, or for the dollar spent? I'd like to work with them to get that better defined, and then I think we might be ready to enter into the agreement.
I'm fine if you want to be the point person working with BCS and working on the terms.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. So, all in favor?
I am.
Oh, we're going to approve it? What we're going to
For
approve?
just letting you work with them and then bring back a.
That's just an agreement.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do that and bring it back for a vote. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or for us to.
Or email us and let us know if
To
they
read it.
Yeah.
Unless you're wanting to give me permission to enter into agreement with them. I don't know that we're back here in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We can do that. I don't have a problem with that, but
I don't have an objection to that as long as you just, email us whatever they're,
Show you what's
show
showing
us
up.
what they've changed from
Okay.
A to B or A to C.
So it ain't something we really gotta vote, that's not a major thing, that's just contractual services anyway, right?
except that we're gonna be spending whatever
Some
dollar,
money,
X
yeah.
amount of dollars, up to X amount of dollars, and there's also I didn't read the whole thing. I wasn't ready to vote on it tonight.
Okay, we'll just put it off to the next meeting then, that's fine.
But there's a certain amount of money up front that there's certain conditions on there that I'm just not,
Yeah. I'd be okay with letting them work with them and
Yeah.
then just keep us in the loop on what they.
okay.
We'll have more news about it.
I don't
next
care
meeting,
either.
it'd be
You can
better.
let me sign it and approve it, or we can go forward. I don't have a problem with that either, but. So I'm bringing it back?
Tim, do you want it brought back or
What?
do you want it brought back or do you want him to have the approval to just sign it?
I have no problem with you signing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have
Let
an
me get-
objection. Just
Let me get it in front of you
Yeah.
guys, tell you what I'd like to recommend anyway, and then
Okay.
you guys can say yea or nay. I won't sign it until I have both of your
Okay.
agreements or
Okay.
approvals, I guess, if you wanna look at it that way.
Open issue board appointments for 2024, I think we all just said we're gonna table this and put it on the next meeting. That's okay, we'll have an executive meeting.
that's fine.
We have to have an executive meeting to do that, or,
Do which thing?
so we're gonna take all these board appointments and sit down and have it, sit
You
around and
can-
talk about
You
it.
can narrow down your list using an executive meeting, but you have to make the final decision in a public meeting.
Yep.
Okay.
We can discuss it in public too, but I don't want to.
Well, we have another issue we need to deal with through an executive meeting. I mean, can we have more than one?
Topic.
Yeah, you just have to cite the subsection of the
Yep.
code that allows you to have that meeting.
Okay.
If you recall, it gives different reasons, and you have to say, this is what we're meeting under, and then this is what we're meeting under.
Okay, and if we have two different topics, we have to have two different,
As long as
Listen.
each of those topics is allowable for an executive session.
Yep.
So you have to make sure that the topic you want to discuss is a topic under which you're allowed to have an executive session.
okay, but we could have meetings with people that, say, if we want to meet with an elected official here, us three commissions could meet with them and talk about stuff and not make a decision, and we don't have to do an executive meeting, or is this you know what I mean?
I'll have to look and see if that's one of your, you could say we're gonna have an executive session under the subsection that allows us to discuss a real estate deal, and then as soon as that executive session's done, we're gonna have an executive session under the subsection that lets us talk about employee misconduct.
Okay.
Let me take a look and see if there's a section that would apply to you guys meeting with another. Now, if it's another county official and it's an administrative meeting, then that doesn't need to be anything.
Yeah, you can just meet.
Okay.
Meeting with
But all three of us
another-
can meet with
Informational
them and
departmental meeting.
not be a conflict.
Yeah, as long as it's administrative in nature, you're discussing policy or ongoing operations with another, like if you're talking to another elected official or a county employee and it's just a purely administrative meeting. I think I sent you the
Yeah.
definition of that.
So if us three meet with Mark like tomorrow or something, that's
Yeah, and if you're just talking about just
Policy and stuff,
administrative
yeah.
stuff, you're not entering into contracts, you're not
Yeah.
making final decisions, but you're just talking about, here's our or like you guys are talking to your highway department guys about, hey, it's gonna be springtime and here's kind of things we wanna see.
Yeah.
Those aren't regarded as public meetings, they're just operational
Okay.
type meetings.
Well, the reason why we do that is because I think it was last year, someone filed a complaint with the state of Indiana, filed charges against us on an open door law violation, so we're very careful in what we do, and we want to make sure we do right.
But
And there
that
was no
also
charge,
found not to be a violation.
and it was not a violation, and that's a sad part about it. I mean, the good part for us, but we just want to do things right and be open and transparent as much as we can. Surveyor's laptop and drain for Ron Mack's not here.
Did you guys get the message or no? He sent me something, but it looked like it was supposed to be a tagged. I can.
Well, it was the drains is a big issue,
Yeah.
and I thought he was gonna make a presentation on that, is what I thought he was gonna do.
He typed it that it was like RJ, Brenda, Tim, Britton, and maybe he just forgot to tag everybody in it. I don't know.
He's been sick, okay.
Yeah. Says he wanted. I think he wanted to request if he could be
Said
at
next meeting.
the next meeting if it was
That's
okay.
fine. That's fine. Okay, groundwater withdrawal. I think all of us can have, I've talked with Eric Scheidler. He's getting information on, I want to educate, so we all know what we're talking about. A lot of times things come up and we need research. Eric Scheidler is getting all the information he can together. If you all want to research it, I think all of us would become well acquainted with that. It's a big deal. For years, water has been taken out of Vermillion, Vigo County. I know they put in one in Shepherdsville, my water plant, where I used to do, and Paris is pumping water over there, like Westfield or Georgetown's pumping it out up here. But this is a larger significant withdrawal, and I think that we ought to get educated on how big all this is, how much it's going to affect, and also we're looking at having 2 meetings, one north and one south in the county, to make it a public meeting where people can have their input on it, and we can go from there. But I think it's important to let the people know, let people involved, let them ask questions, and we all be part of that discussion. So that's where I'm at. You all got any comments on that?
I would encourage you guys to look at watersheds and subunits of watersheds, and be prepared to maybe enter those into our discussions as to where we end up at.
Right. RJ, you got any comment on that?
Yeah, I mean, just to piggyback off of some of the stuff you said, I mean, do a lot of research. I mean, it is a big deal from the state. The water they're talking about pumping out of the Wabash is, monumental. I forget the millions of gallons, and I think, I share the concerns that a lot of people do. So, doing your research, having these meetings, the state's doing some type of study, I believe. So, just being proactive and make sure everybody's aware of something like this.
John, I don't know if you can answer this question or not, but water rights is something that you really don't have no control over, do you? As far as government, I mean, it's almost
I don't know.
no one.
Let me, I'm working on the executive session question, and I'll look into to what degree we can regulate water.
Right. I just don't think there's too many laws as far as regarding water, and I think that if you withdraw enough where you affect someone, you can probably liable for
DNR
it.
has their large withdrawal permits that they have, that it's more of a reporting requirement than it is anything else.
Yeah. One of the worst things about it is seeing revenue, seeing our natural resources taken out of our county and no revenue too. It seems like.
Well, yeah, I'm totally opposed to this. They ought to be bringing those resources to where, or the economic development, if you will, to where the resources are, instead of taking the resources from everywhere
Right.
else and concentrating them into a certain part of the state.
Well, that and the money they're spending to do it.
Yeah.
That project's going to be billions to pump that from Tippecanoe County to Lebanon.
Now, it's not. This has been entertained 20 years ago for Indianapolis, knowing that they were going to be out of water here shortly, and so this isn't the first time.
Yeah.
This is the first time for Vermillion County or the Wabash Valley, maybe, but it's not the first time in the state that this has occurred. And it almost became a reality then. It was all in the private interest at that point.
Right. Okay, well, we'll do some research on it, get back. DNR water site up north, that is RJ's.
I messaged you guys this morning. They're still moving forward with their process on DNR side. They just again asked for an official recommendation from the Board of Commissioners for the naming. Britton and George, and I can't pronounce that name correctly, but
We'll send them on.
there you go.
Yeah, I don't
Say it
Say
fast
it.
enough you can say it.
Yeah, so that right there was a recommendation.
Yeah.
So if the board wants to agree, we can officially send it to Luke if you guys are in agreement. There was some other ideas in the beginning, but they wouldn't let you name it after a person, or they said DNR normally doesn't do that. So if you guys are in agreement, we can
That
send
was the
it.
first city our first establishment here in Vermillion County that we know of historically.
Yeah.
Of any significance anyway. It was an Indian village at the time on
Yeah.
a big Vermillion. Later on it came in, and the settlements, of course they changed a little bit, but became Cayuga, Eugene Station, and then
Yeah.
Cayuga at a later date.
So if you guys are okay with that,
I
we
have no problem with
we
it.
can recommend that to Luke then.
I'd like to.
Okay.
I'd like
It
to.
has some historical.
Yeah. Well, I
Value
think
to
maybe we
it,
could do
yeah.
that, maybe get some historical signs or something put up and why it's called this landing, or Bowden.
I think it'd be cool.
Yeah,
for that
so
site.
I'll email him tonight after the meeting, let him know.
So,
There's variations on it, but it's Osinomon. Some people put an A in there. I think
I
you
miss-
spelled it one.
yeah.
Well, it's spelled, actually it's spelled that way.
I
depending on
messaged
which-
George and I said, give me the official, how I should send this to the state, so.
Well, there's two spellings of it depending on what reference you go with. At least two, anyway, I'll say that. But, did you catch that? Okay.
All right. All right, so that's where
as
we're at.
long
on
as there,
that.
like I say, as long as there's something there that describes, you know, the
I'd like to see
There's-
some sign or something, I think it'd be kind of
There's
cool.
a historical significance to it.
historical marker type thing.
That's what I mean.
Actually, there is a marker to be proposed, whether we get it or not, it's being proposed.
How's that came out with the property owners and everybody around is okay with it? You seem like
There's one adjacent property owner, and I emailed you guys, it's been several months ago, that was one of the adjacent property owners that made an offer on the property. I forget what it's maybe 4,000, 5,000, I forget what it was in the email, and I have attempted to work with them. I think they're going to be adamantly opposed to the project, regardless. I received a message the other day that they were opposed to the surveyor being out there, and that the surveyor claims they lost some property based on the new survey, but I didn't really have any information to respond to that with. You know, but with the licensed surveyor saying that, so I don't know.
That's,
what?
Yes.
they go through there's a process
Yeah,
if they
so-
want to challenge that.
Tell us how that
process.
works. Is there a certain amount of money that the county has to give in, or is it the state doing, or how much? What is the scope of that?
For that letter that they offered, DNR is pretty much, I'd have to find that letter they offered, the letter of support.
Just off the
but-
top of your head, I'm gonna hold you to it.
DNR is just basically asking the county to donate the land. Now, I do think there's going to be some agreement proposed by them to where, like, they don't want the road or something, they just want maybe the access point. And they have agreements with other counties where, like, maybe their Parks Department or maybe, like, what was that group you talked about in Terre Haute? You met with a guy, gosh dang it.
I'm sorry, I'm at a loss.
The Boy Scout or
Oh,
something?
the Boy Scouts?
Yeah, they have some agreements with like organizations that like maintain the grass or stuff, or they'll do stuff like that. But they're talking about an investment of over $50,000
good.
in doing but they will provide all of that. The county's out nothing more than just, and I don't know if it's donating the land or leasing it. I'm not sure how that process works.
They wanted to own the ground, that's why I
Okay.
understood.
Yeah.
But the one condition or a condition anyway, is that we need to maintain the right-of-way of easement for the maintenance of the bridge.
Yeah, but they said
That's
a lot.
why it was out in the first place, was for the maintenance of the bridge.
So
Survey's been done, right?
survey's been done,
Yeah.
but they're working up that agreement to where they said they work with most counties, and they said all the county agreements are different with caveats from each county. They all kind of put in their own 2 cents. But there is, like I said, one landowner that is, I would say, adamantly opposed to it.
Right.
I've tried to work with them to see if there was any conditions that maybe DNR could help us with, but they more or less just don't want the traffic next to the property is more or less the big thing of it. So
Very good. That's a good project. Good project. Vermillion County Bicentennial.
I think I sent out
Yeah.
potential things. My initial idea was to have this year-round, basically starting on the date that we became a county, February 1st, 2024, of 1824, and then have events either quarterly or periodically throughout the remainder of the year. I polled you two and the other commissioners here, and it appears that the interest is really just on a singular event, either on February 1st or somewhere near that or whatever. So I backed off of a year-long's worth of events to, I guess we have one birthday party.
one big party.
So whatever that is, I don't know. What I had was not a singular birthday party, so the idea of whatever we do for that is up for discussion. February 1st comes soon. If we want to do it on February 1st, there's necessarily no definition we have to do it on the 1st. I don't.
We need to do something, I just don't know to what extent.
Yeah, I'd like to do it. If you do something for the community, I think maybe doing it when the weather's a little bit better, whether it's spring or summer. I just seen that T-shirt idea just on Facebook, and I
Yeah.
thought that was kind of cool. The town had done a bicentennial, same deal, had a little wording on it, so I thought that was kind of neat if we could get some local businesses to, like you said in the one, maybe donate, help pay for stuff like that to give out to the community would be kind of neat.
That was the second thing I sent out, was a spreadsheet of all the, well, not all the businesses, but a number of the businesses in the community, from north to south, and of who might we talk to, but that's when I was still looking at a much
year.
larger picture of things. I don't know that initially is still in the cards at this point.
Or even you had one thing on the date and another one in the summer, you know, maybe two of them might make
We
sense.
have one on July 4th,
What?
Yeah, maybe.
something on July 4th. I don't know when July 4th is, or
Yeah,
what
there
day
you
it
go. Do
falls
some
on.
fireworks or something. Have a big
It falls on
party.
July 4th.
Yeah, have a big party.
But it's one of the things that I had. I guess we can look at the list and cherry pick off that list.
Yeah, you did a
of
lot of work on
things.
that
Yeah.
list.
I did.
You did a lot
I
of
was
work on that
really.
list. I
I've been working on
appreciate
that list for 2 months, the ideas and everything, and so yeah, there's a lot of effort in that. So
Yeah.
hopefully we can pick one or two things off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was hoping for a
So-
year's worth, but that's all right.
I would like to minimum
I've been
see something.
disappointed before.
It would be nice to have something here, at least at the courthouse, that day.
Yeah, I was hoping to be able to come up with the lights for the courthouse. I don't know if you've seen the Masonic Lodge downtown Indianapolis, where they can change and make whatever color schemes you want on the building. And this building is kind of set up nicely for that, and I was hoping to be able to do that, but I couldn't come up with the right funding for it. I could come up with enough to buy the materials, but not to put them on or to install it.
Right.
But it would have been really cool.
The date, which day of the week is that on?
Disappointment.
Thursday,
Huh?
Thursday, so it's July 4th. It's on Thursday too.
Make it a whole weekend: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
You know, it was done maybe on a Saturday or something. Yeah, we're down.
You
to
guys go for it. I've given you a bunch of ideas. So, there's more ideas, and you don't even have to pick off the list. You can come up with your own.
My idea was the shirt idea that I stole off somebody else, so that
No,
wasn't
and
even
that's a good idea,
That wasn't
too.
even organic. That was just somebody else's idea.
That's a good one. It's not.
I think it'd be kind of cool just if you could give it out to people and stuff. That way they've got something to remember, you know, our celebration by or something.
It'd be nice if you had shirts and stuff or something. But-
Yeah. Well, especially
Well,
if
we
get
got
something-
about a week to make decisions.
Well. Anyway,
Anyway, still going on Golden Conversation.
so who's going to head that up? One of you two. Somebody needs to. I mean, if we're going to do it first, it needs
I can
to
coordinate
start.
with Tim. I don't know that I can head it up, but I can coordinate.
I would like to see it done on the date, if not the weekend of that date.
When is the first?
You know what I mean?
Thursday.
Don't you
Is it
think a
Thursday
weekend
also?
would be the best
And the
way to
4th
do
is a
it?
Thursday?
Kind of neat.
If you had
Rings
did it on a Saturday of that weekend, I don't know if I'm off either, but had a thing down here and had some, we could do some historical presentations of the leaders of Vermilion County, historically speaking. I want to do a historical speaking day anyway, and have,
It's whatever you guys want to do.
well, I'm just.
I want to do yours, so I got a day now, so you guys pick it. Pick what you want to do.
But have something here, probably best do it on a weekend, wouldn't it, on a Saturday, if you're gonna get people to come. You do it evening, it ain't gonna work. You do it on a Saturday afternoon, I think it'd work. Or that's your, I'm just throwing it out. I mean, Saturday afternoon seems like the most,
It's usually a cold day in February. So.
well, you be inside. You go outside and do something out there at the flagpole too, but
that was your comment that it's going to be cold outside because a lot of my events.
well,
were
most of
outside.
your ventures were outside.
A lot of
So,
them were.
and I like that, but
That's why we do one in the spring or summer too, where it's warm.
I'd say
quarterly.
if we did something here on the date, on the weekend of that date, locally, and did something out in the summer here, where it would be the outside.
Brett, maybe we could just do from February to like August or something. Cut out the cold months, and instead of doing a year-long thing, maybe do February to like August or
We'd
something.
have a big birthday cake up there, and then we'd lower it down through the.
Anyway, I would like to see
200
something,
candles.
my personal opinion would do something on the day of or the
Smaller.
weekend of. Do we want to at least go that route? the date over
You
the
can text me
weekend?
whatever you want to do. Sure, I can.
You guys are heading it up. I spent all my effort.
Say this on a Tuesday?
Thursday.
I will
Thursday?
help. I will help with whatever you decide.
What's the date again?
February 1st.
February 1st. And that is on a Thursday. So if we did anything, it'd be on the 3rd, right?
Yeah.
The Reading Center wanted to do something, I believe. They had emailed, I think, all of us, and they were wanting to do something, and I don't know if it was on what day, I don't remember. They were at Hillsdale in Clinton. They had something that they wanted to do there also for the birthday, or for the bicentennial.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we did get a response.
Okay, we'll work on this by back and forth, I guess. Courthouse closing procedure. Just want to all get together and come up with some type of procedure that works for all of us. I think it's important to note that elected officials have a right to close their offices down anytime they want to. And so it's not as, when we close down the courthouse and everybody is gone, God be gone, but I think it's important to let the elected officials know that they have a right to stay here and work if they want to. And I know some of them have to. I know sometimes when court's going on, closing the courthouse can create some issues with the court. And so we're going to try to work something up where, you know, if the big thing is that people want to stay and work. And I know I've seen many times the auditor's office, they've stayed. And they got a lot of stuff going, and sometimes they're working here late at night even. But we just want to make it clear where our responsibility is and where the elected office holder responsibility is. I think it'd be good to get that clarified, right? Spur?
Well, I think you should make a bright line. These are the conditions under which the whole building has to be closed.
Right.
You know, and then outside of that, this is when it's up to individual office holders whether they
Right.
close or not.
But elected officers to close their office any day they want, anytime they want to.
But there may be conditions, like if the building has no functional power or water, and Mark
Yeah.
might offer insight into that, where
Structurally not sound.
yeah, you're required to close it,
Right.
even if someone wants to keep their office open, it's not
Right.
safe
Well,
to be inside.
And I think that's happened before where the town has had some major water leak, and it's, you know, the health department will tell you you can only go so long without,
Yeah.
you know, functioning water. And
I'd
then-
like to know what that is.
And I don't know what that is. If
I don't
it's
either.
4 hours, 8 hours, 6 hours. I don't know.
Yeah, the only time we really had something, I know that the city of Newport loaned out water here about 3-4 years
Yeah,
ago.
it was.
Before that, we had one where the pipe burst and all of the glycol drained from the entire building into the office downstairs.
Right.
And that caused a huge mess, which caused the courthouse to be closed for a couple of days.
We just want to try to get some clearer, you know, process that we all know and everybody knows and simple. So if we all can put your recommendations together.
I don't mind that, having just a clear cut where it's here's the 3 things that automatically closes, and then have that posted throughout the county or the office holders. That way they know, because I'm sure Kylie or Brenda or just like me, you know, office holders tend to, and their employees tend to call you and text you periodically. Hey, I have no water. Hey, I have no this. Well, then I'm relaying to you. Hey, well, then the phones are out. So how do I get a hold of you? You know, so, but I think making it clear that, hey, if an office holder feels that they can't do their work, you know, they can close it and just go home for the day.
Right.
Or the afternoon or the morning or whatever.
Okay, work on that, bring back your comments. County festival and events. Bicentennial we're talking about. Eric Scheidler, is okay that appointment's good.
Yep.
Eric Scheidler will be the new solid waste director. I look forward to working with him. Eric's a good man. Does a lot for the community, and this will be a good position for him. Anything else? John, is anything we're missing?
Now he's thinking like I'm thinking. 7 o'clock, we're looking at that
No,
clock going,
research
man,
the
this...
water issue.
I know, I'm like, oh.
Is anything did I missing, Kai?
No, no.
You need to sit here for another half hour then.
Oh, man, I don't know. This is... Anybody got any public comment on this?
Time for public
Oh,
comment.
any more for public comment?
Keep it brief.
We're on a record-setting pace tonight, 31 minutes or something.
Starting the new year out right?
Well, without a milkshake, but I mean.
Yeah, almost all right.
Anyone?
You're just earning some back in the 3-hour meetings in the last.
Yeah, there we go. We're trying to.
Average amount here. Motion to adjourn.
I'll second the motion.
Discussion? No? Meeting adjourned.
Aye, yeah.
Aye.
Aye.